Oh! What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris. Joining me today is my co-host, Jojo.
I'm here.
And I got an interesting topic, dude. We haven't got a chance to talk into this, and Kelsey has talked about this with me so many times. But you're a comic book fan.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, totally.
We have not really gotten a chance to just have like a comic book conversation and just talk about comics. So I figured, fucking, why not? I've actually been in a very big comic book mode recently because I watched the first couple seasons and then I fell off just due to the fact that I guess I didn't know what streaming service it was on. And now that I have like every fucking streaming service in the world, I'll probably pay fucking hundreds of dollars for that bullshit. But anyways, not the point. I watch Comic Book Men. I don't know if you've ever seen the show.
No, that's like a reality thing, right?
So Comic Book Men is Kevin Smith, which I'm guessing you know.
Oh.
Kevin Smith, who owns a comic book shop called Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash, and he has guys who he actually used the likeness of, and some of them were actually in the movies, like Clerks and stuff like that, for most of his main characters in most of his movies. So, like for instance, the character Randall is off of one of the guys that actually, he doesn't work in the comic book shop, he just sits in the comic book shop all day because he's unemployed and doesn't do anything. It's actually pretty fucking funny. But he's actually based off, or Randall's actually based off of him. And what's really cool is like they do it where it's a podcast type Pawn Stars thing. So it's like half the show is them sitting at a table with Kevin Smith talking about what happened at the stash today. And then they'll start telling a story or tell a couple jokes or something like that, and then they'll cut to an actual reality, like they're in a stash, cameras are around them, what cool has come into the stash, because they do the buying people's collection stuff too. So you see really cool shit come through. Like the last episode I was just watching, they had like a fucking #1 of the Amazing Spider-Man come in. Like shit like that, you know, stuff that will just blow your fucking mind. Like, holy shit, this like is existing in front of you. And they have badass cameos on there all the time. Stan Lee showed up before. Lou Ferrigno showed up. Like, they've had like a lot of, the last one that I was actually just watching, the fucking actual guy that played in the Chewbacca suit showed up.
Oh, Peter Mayhew.
Yes, exactly. Showed up, and they did a Wookiee off where they all dressed up as Chewbacca, different, their own little costumes, if you will, their own little Wookiees. And they had to do the actual Wookiee, they kept calling it the mating call, but their Wookiee mating call, and he sat there and judged them on who he thought did the best. So you just see this towering, like 7'6" giant coming into the fucking comic book store. Dude's huge, man, huge.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, it got me into like a huge fucking like comic mode, and I don't know how like in depth I've ever went into comics as far as like on Dead Funny content. I know the viewers at home know that I read comics. Viewers at home know my favorite comic book character is Deadpool. And I definitely talked about this multiple times on like Dark Star. But I don't think that I've ever had somebody else that's like been big into the comics besides like us doing review shows on the movies and people being like, what the fuck does this mean, Chris? Because you actually read the comics. I'm that guy. It's like we watch the movie and as soon as we get out, I'm the fucking question person. Like, what about this? What about this? Exactly.
I love that. I love explaining to people who the Watcher is. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah. I gotta say, there's one time that backfired on me though. One time. And it was because I chose to show my knowledge before the movie, not knowing that they might change too much. And I'm talking about Iron Man 3, and I'm talking about the Mandarin. How I went into this whole thing about he's this badass with these 8 powerful rings. He does all this elemental magic. And then they got to that, and they're like, are you sure you know who the Mandarin is? And I was like, motherfucker, dude. It's like, yes, I know who the fucking Mandarin is. Iron Man's my favorite fucking Avenger. I was so mad.
On you, the villain is a different robot guy. No.
Oh man. But yeah, I guess kind of like a little bit of backstory. We'll do a little backstory on both of us, but like for me, my household, I would say it was probably more dominant towards Marvel than DC. We had DC, it's not like we didn't, but Marvel was definitely a lot more popular in my household. My dad's
I'm a
favorite,
big Marvel.
Yep. My dad's favorite Marvel character being Thor. My mom loves Cable. my brother Taskmaster. Believe it or not, that's his main
Taskmaster's awesome.
Taskmaster's shit, right? Exactly. And he's actually supposed to be in the new Black Widow movie coming out. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
I have very mixed feelings about it. I have very mixed feelings. I feel like I don't feel like there's enough interest in Black Widow as the character throughout the MCU for her to have like an amazing one-off movie yet. I think like she still needs a little bit more screen time before that movie would be like, oh my god, like I can't wait to go see Black Widow. I don't really think there's enough of a fan base for that yet, personally.
And because of where it is in like the timeline, like there's not something like Captain Marvel, like even if it wasn't the best movie, at least like here's the Skrulls and shit that's gonna matter again. Whereas Black Widow is just like, she's already dead. All these people, you're never gonna see them again.
Now I do want to point out, it would be the same if it was Hawkeye. The exact same if it was Hawkeye. I would be like, why are they making this movie? Do want to point that out before anybody gets any wrong ideas. It'd be the same if it was Hawkeye. I'd be like, why is it?
Yeah, they're doing a TV series for Hawkeye, and that's probably a better fit, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
like Black Widow.
It's not like some big fucking like cinematic debut that I feel I have to go see to link something to the fucking MCU that's slowly turning into whatever the next phase is going to be. So yeah, for sure, absolutely. But so I've always been a big Deadpool fan. Growing up, I definitely struggled with the fact that Deadpool was a D-list villain at best, and slowly worked his way into the anti-hero merc with a mouth that we all know and love today. The first issue I ever read was my dad sent me down. He's like, if you want to read comics, I want you to kind of pick something on your own and just go into it. So he laid down a couple comics, and the one that stood out to me the most was the Deadpool he put down. And he just put down random issues. He didn't like grab the one of each or the starter of each. And the first comic I ever read was Deadpool issue number 8. And I'll never forget this comic because it stood out to me. It was Deadpool and Typhoid Mary. And for a lot of you who don't know who Typhoid Mary is, she's a big kind of like villain-ish type person who shows up in a lot of Daredevil comics and stuff like that, but she's kind of got like this split personality type shit going on, and she runs around with like a katana and stuff, and so she ends up, him and Daredevil the issue before had captured her, but Deadpool didn't want to see her just get locked away because he still had like feelings for her, so he ends up like fucking Daredevil over and getting Typhoid Mary out, and then the next issue is like, okay, what's going to happen now? So she's all like, well, I know you want to play hero, and for those of you who don't know, Deadpool spent a lot of his series, the actual Deadpool series, the one that went from issue 1 to 69, which they had to end on 69, but the issues that went from 1 to 69, he spent a lot of that trying to be a hero because he liked Siren. He was really in love with Siren, and she told him early on, I don't date villains. So he was wanting to be a hero for a while just to be different, and I really enjoy that comic book series because it shows someone who is so easily looked at as a bad guy, and he just constantly just keeps getting treated like this villain. And it's very interesting to me how it just goes through, and it's like you could see like the whole like, oh, I tried to do good and then I did bad and now I'm just gonna be bad, but it's always like I'm gonna try to do good again. And in this one, it was so early on, but I felt like they put him to the fucking limit right out the gate, where he has this chick who he had feelings for / somewhat still has feelings for, and she basically escapes, and she tells him, she's all like, if you want to be a hero, you're going to have to play hero. And she's like, for every hour I'm loose, I'm going to kill someone. And so she ends up like kneeing him in the testicles and then running off. And so whenever he kind of recovers and starts chasing her down, it's like she's obviously just playing. She's obviously just playing. And he sees like, like her go up this building, and then he goes to get up that building, and it goes down, and like she's already out, and someone's already strung up with like their fucking insides on the outside, and then blood is written tick tock, hero boy. So he's like, holy shit, she's not playing. So he's trying to do all this shit, track her down. Well, he ends up getting her to a bar, and they're in this bar. And she throws this sword to go kill this guy. And Deadpool puts his hand up, and the sword goes through his hand, but it doesn't kill the guy behind it. And so the dude's like, oh my god, thank you for saving my life. And Deadpool being Deadpool is like, oh, well, I'm glad you're happy because my piano career is now over. Just like cracking jokes like always, right? And then as he says that, he hears a crack. He turns and looks, and she grabs some dude next to her and just snapped his neck. And she's all like, doesn't seem too very hero to me. While you're over there cracking jokes, I'm still killing innocent bystanders. And he just loses it. He's like, stop fucking calling me that. And she won't stop. She keeps calling him Hero Boy. So he finally gets his hands on her. I mean, he beats her to a bloody fucking pulp. Like, he literally, the actual bar counter, he breaks in half using her face. And I'll never forget at the end, she's kind of like laying there all fucked up. And she's smiling and laughing. And she's all like, it seems like you're not any better than the rest of us. You're just like one of us, Hero Boy. And he goes to he looks around and everybody's just like in awe at what he just did. And they're like, wow, that's supposed to be a hero and stuff like that. And he goes, somebody better call help for her. He's all like, one of you can play the hero because I'm fucking done with it. And then walks out. And I was like, that right there was just such, to me, an amazing first fucking issue where I was just like, holy shit. Like, it really just grabbed the fuck out of me. And I was like, I want to know more about this character. And that kind of started my comic book journey where I went back. My dad gifted me, the first comic he ever gifted me was New Mutants number 98, the first appearance of Deadpool. And I mean, I started from the fucking beginning. And I've got 2 long boxes in my fucking closet that's just filled with nothing but Deadpool. There's not a single other fucking comic in there. It's just all Deadpool on both of those long boxes. And I got another box that's got like a couple of one-off series that I like because I'm a big Ultron fan. That's my favorite villain. And so I've got like the Age of Ultron and shit like that in there. So yeah, that's kind of like where I started. Like I said, DC, I'm not as big as into. For me, this is my issue with DC. It seems like one issue, they're fine, they're friends. The next issue, they're learning how to work together. The third issue, they fight a big villain together. The fourth issue, we're celebrating, cool, we're all friends again. The fifth issue, oh, Batman's gone rogue. Now we got to find Batman and stop him. And then the Flash has gone rogue. We got to find the Flash and stop him. Then Wonder Woman's gone rogue. Like, it's always there. It's like, let's fight a big villain. Now we got to fight somebody in the Justice League. Now we got to fight a villain again. Now we got to fight somebody in the Justice League. It's like there's too much of that, man. And I don't like seeing a team divided like that. So it made me lose interest in DC very early on as a kid, and I just never gained that love back. Now that being said, Batman comics are fucking amazing. Solo Batman comics I fucking love. Like Year One and shit like that, amazing. Killing Joke, you can't not love the Killing Joke. Fucking what's another? Death of the Family, another fucking amazing comic series for me. I love Batman. Yeah.
Also,
and DC's animated movies are fucking phenomenal. I haven't watched a DC animated movie that I don't like. I mean, fucking the comic book series is great, but the animated movie was really good too. Oh my god, the fucking Flashpoint Paradox, where Flash goes in that alternate dimension. Fucking finding out about Batman's dad being Batman and his mom turning into the Joker because Batman was actually killed in the fucking alley. That was fucking mind-blowing, dude. I was like, holy shit. The only time you see Batman fucking cry because Flash brings back a note from his fucking dad, dude. Like, that's some shit right there, dude. To see the Bat cry? Come on, man. I was like, holy fuck, this movie's amazing. Oh, shit blew my mind, dude. But if I had to pick...
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
What?
I used to love the 90s cartoon, the Batman animated series. I was obsessed with,
Absolutely.
That was a foundational Batman experience.
Easily where I was introduced to the majority of the Batman villains. Clayface and Bane and Poison Ivy and all them.
I love Clayface.
Yeah.
Genuinely, Clayface is one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But yeah, if I had to pick somebody, I've always been a Green Arrow fan. I don't know why. Oliver Queen is just my guy, dude. A big, huge Green Arrow fan. And it's actually funny, they were talking about it on the Comic Book Men show that I was watching. And for those of you who are actually interested in that show, it is streaming if you have an Amazon Prime membership. Just figured I'd throw that out there in case people are looking for it. But yeah, it is streaming for free if you have Amazon Prime. But anyways, they brought up an issue that my dad, I believe, actually has, if not, at least showed it to me. Because my dad's got a garage back home that's just filled, like, wall to wall with a fucking just long boxes. I mean, wall to fucking wall. X-Men, Avengers, Batman, Superman, you fucking name it, it's probably in there. It's pretty fucking insane. He's got a huge collection. Now, whether or not the collection's in good health, that's a different story. I don't know. I haven't been there in a while. I know for a while he kind of kept them in like a fucking garage in Texas heat not climate controlled, not really good for comics. So yeah, whenever me and my mom get a chance to sit down and go through them, we're gonna have to fucking definitely do some reboarding, reboxing, and kind of seeing what we actually have there as a collection that's actually salvageable. But not necessarily for sale or anything like that. I mean, if she wanted to sell them, because they're obviously half hers too. Because he kind of got my mom into comics, and then they started collecting them together. But yeah, Green Arrow would be my guy. I don't know what it is, man. But the comic book cover I was getting to was, and it was interesting because they talked about like how you would never see a comic book cover like this in today's world, and it's the one where Green Arrow finds out that his sidekick Speedy is doing drugs. And it's whenever they walk in that door, and Speedy's got that syringe in his arm, and like the Green Arrow looks like he's about to go whip his ass, and like Green Lantern's like holding him back, and it's like you would never see that in a comic book today. You know what I mean? It's just not something that's done, and it was just so fucking crazy. Like there's just so many like comic book covers or comic book times where it's like holy fuck, it just blows my mind. Like I got so into Marvel, I watched like Stan Lee's biography, I watched like all that shit. Just hearing stories, man, that's the stuff that gets me, like the stuff that like Marvel went through, like going bankrupt, dude. That was crazy to me. Like to know that Marvel at one point in time went bankrupt. That was nuts. That blew my mind because I didn't know. Like
when they sell their movie rights.
Mm-hmm. That's whenever they started trying to get out of that. Yeah, exactly. And apparently there was like, I think they said it was like 181 employees who were working for Marvel at the time. And Stan literally took the time out to like leave, whether he actually got a conversation with them or a voicemail, like a 30-minute to an hour-long voicemail or conversation, just saying how much of a great worker they were, how much he apologizes that they didn't see this coming, all that kind of shit. Like Stan Lee was such a boss, dude. If there's anybody in the world I could have worked for, Stan Lee is at the top of that fucking list, dude. Easily.
No, he seemed really cool.
Easily. Yeah. I mean, fucking just my story alone of like how he went out of his way to sign my fucking comic, even though he went out sick.
Oh, I remember that. That's amazing.
He's fucking amazing. Dude's awesome. And because of him, I have, it's his last Comic-Con appearance. Like, I have a fucking signature because of that. Like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But, that's kind of like where I started. So I guess if you want to go ahead and kick it off and just kind of talk about how you started your comic book journey.
I think I got all these just superheroes in general from cartoons, right? Like, there was the Batman animated series, there was the Spider-Man and X-Men shows they had at the time. And so that really shaped a lot of my opinions in that before I got into actually reading comics, for sure. Like, I still really love Gambit, even though, like, once I went and started reading comics, it was like, oh, wait, it takes 30 years for Gambit to even show up in these.
Yeah,
but
he's not part of first class, that's for sure.
Like, it warped my perception of like who should matter. It's like, oh yeah, Psylocke, she's one of the big ones. Like, nah, not really, but
she is now, but she wasn't back then.
Yeah, right. Because like they used to, for a reason, like Psylocke was the one they would put in video games a lot too, because I guess she, get psychic swords and it was neat.
Right.
So that also, like, I had a bunch of like Super Nintendo games based on so. I don't know. Actually, I have a visual aid right here, probably. When, let's see, I was 11 or 12, they came out with these things. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're called Hero Clicks. Where's my camera? It was a little Hawkeye I got.
Oh, wow.
It was nice. It was a tabletop game, collectible, like a trading card game. You get little booster packs of figures and few things on a board.
I believe they still do that. I know, like, whenever I go to my comic book store that's down the road from me, like, they'll still have, like, I know, like, whenever Deadpool first got on his rise, they were selling, like, just Deadpool Hero Clicks, and it was like a box, and you can get, like, Deadpool, Lady Deadpool, Kid Deadpool, Dogpool, Headpool, like, all the different fucking pools from the Deadpool universe.
I got deep into that game, and it consequently was going to a comic book store to play it literally like, every Saturday.
Nice.
When I was, like, 12 years old until I was, I don't know, 17 or something. And so I would learn about characters from just, like, it would be a bunch of figures of characters I've never heard of, and I'd be like, well, who is this? And then I need to read up on who this character is, and would come to, like, have this, I wanted to know every Marvel character at some point, right? I had comics, but I also had, like, the encyclopedias, which is like, here, now I know every Spider-Man villain's origin, because sat down and read it in a book. Then, like, I don't have a ton of individual issues, but I got, like, trade paperbacks.
Gotcha.
Of, like, I basically read every Spider-Man from 1960 whatever till the 80s probably. You know, X-Men also. Captain America. I love Captain America. I have I don't think I can move this camera without breaking things, but in my hallway here there are 2 different paintings of Captain America punching Hitler.
Oh, nice.
That I got.
Old school, dude. Old school.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's something that people forget, man. We used to have comic book covers of Captain America going to World War II. He was fighting with the troops while the troops were fighting out there. We were still fighting the battle at home too, dude. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I have this giant painted replica of the issue where Captain America busts through a wall and just punches Hitler. It's amazing. And so I always love Captain America. Avengers in general, I got very deeply into. But it was like my mom never was into comics, but she started going to the conventions with me because I was really into it.
Oh, nice.
And was very supportive of that, and which then led to us having things like big ass Captain America paintings,
right.
Or like, and there's also we would go to like Barnes and Noble, and she has had policy like, if it's a book, that's probably good. It's okay for you to have a thing that's a book. So we just spend a ton of money, which would mostly be on comics. Geez, I got a million of them. I got so many back in my but they're not like cool and rare like yours probably are. That's now because they're all just collections.
I don't have too many crazy rare ones. I mean, like I said, my own personal collection is mainly Deadpool. I do have New Mutants number 98 signed by Stan Lee and Rob Liefeld, and I got it professionally graded, so it's in the actual CGC case. That's the only one like I ever went to that extent for. I gotta say, like, my second favorite comic of all time is I actually have the variant of the Age of Ultron, because I'm a big Ultron fan. I have the variant issue. When I say variant, I don't mean like second print. I mean like they came out with a special hard pumped up for cover for this comic, and so it's like, you know, like kind of popped out a little bit, and it's Ultron, and he's standing on the bodies of all the Avengers. So like Thor, Hulk, they're all unconscious beneath him, and then in his right hand, I think, is Iron Man, and his left is he's holding Captain America, and he's holding them both by the face. And Cap's shield's broken, Iron Man's suit's all trashed to shit, and his mouth is open like he's yelling. And if you look at his forehead and you look, it shows in the reflection is Hawkeye standing all the way across with his bow drawn, getting ready to shoot at Ultron. So that's probably my second favorite comic just by the fucking cover. I mean, I got tons of Deadpool covers I love where like the art is just amazing. There's like a Deadpool versus Moon Knight series where that was really good. Deadpool versus Taskmaster is probably one of my favorite covers of all time. A Deadpool cover that I kicked myself in the ass for every day for not buying it when I found it. I was down in Alabama and the guy was selling it for $90, and fuck, I wish I would have picked it up because the comic's worth like $3,000 now. Is the first time that a Deadpool cover ever did the whole where like if you hold it and you move it, the image changes on the cover, and it's like Deadpool standing dead center, and he's got a cane and a top hat. And then if you turn it to the left, he's like, you know, just like throwing his hands up in the air. And if you turn it to the right, he's actually twerking against the spine of the comic. And it's like fucking A, man. Like, because when it came out, my comic book shop sold out, and instantly they only had 2. And it's like, well, you know, both the fucking people behind the counter took that shit home for like fucking $8 off the shelf. And then I found it down in Alabama while I was on vacation. It was like $95, and I was like, oh, I should really get it. Like, fuck, I should really get it, man. I gotta stop doing that shit, man. Like, my fucking Cloud figure that I fucking got. That thing was $90 when I first wanted to get it, and I didn't get it. And I just spent fucking $340 on it. Like, I gotta stop with that shit. Like, Red 13 back in the day, when I wanted to get that fucking figure, it was like $120. And I was like, you know, it'll come down, dude. Final Fantasy VII, like, the remake's never gonna happen because the way they've been doing this shit. That fucking figure is $1,800. For fucking Red 13. I was like, he's not even the main character, dude. Yeah, the play arts, man. Those fucking things are expensive.
For the play arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All my figures. Those are the ones that are action figures. They come with the actual modeled stands if you want to stand them like a statue, and every single part of them moves to be able to help that articulation. Even bends at the toes. Like we're talking.
Are the non-7 figures worth anything? Because I got some 10s. I got an Auron.
Possibly.
I'll have to look into it.
You got to think about it this way. Yeah. Square Enix puts it out and then gives it a run, and then whenever that's done, it's done. They don't make them anymore.
Right.
And that's how that always works, and that's why they're so expensive now. Like, I didn't know there's a fucking Zack from Crisis Core. I was like, what? And it's just sold out. Like, I literally can't fucking even get a price on how much it would be because it's just sold out everywhere. I was like, fuck me. Because, like, I'm buying the remakes figures as they're coming out. I have them like pre-ordered, so like literally next month I'll be able to have my it's October. Yeah, October Barrett comes out. I already have him pre-ordered, but it's the remake, so it's remake Barrett. And then November Tifa comes out, December Aerith comes out, and then I'll have Cloud, Barrett, Tifa, Aerith, and then like fucking the next figure to come out that I care about because it's like Reno and Rude. I'm like, eh. But the next figure that comes out that I care about is fucking March 2021 at Sephiroth, and it's like. Because they haven't done any other team members. I want to get the entire team and then Sephiroth.
Right.
So.
But they can't do the team members until they actually get designs for that team, I guess.
Right. Because, like, growing up, it was so much easier for people to just, like, overload me with Deadpool stuff. Because Deadpool's everywhere. You can get Deadpool anywhere off a shelf for, like, fucking $10, you know? So I've got Deadpool shit out the wazoo. But it's like, I've always been a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, and I've never had Final Fantasy stuff. Like, I've always wanted Final Fantasy stuff, but it's so goddamn expensive because by the time that game was popular and blowing out the stands and they made these figures, I was still too young to buy that kind of shit. I didn't even know it existed, you know, because, I mean, fucking, I was like, what, 1991 to 1997, so I was 6 years old whenever fucking Final Fantasy VII released. Like,
yeah, right, you know? That was totally.
And so now that I'm older and got a job and stuff, I'm trying to, like, really fucking give me the man cave, if you will, that I've always fucking wanted. I want fucking Final Fantasy shit out the wazoo. So I'm fucking buying the statues I never fucking got a chance to get. And just like decorating my fucking walls. Like right now to my left, I've got 3, 6, 7 posters, Final Fantasy. To my right, I've got one painting that my mom bought for me from this t-shirt website that I go to a lot. They also do like paintings and shit. And it's like Starry Night. But it's Cloud looking over Midgar with the meteor in the background coming down. Yeah. So, but it's the Starry Night take. And then I got this shirt that's got it's actually my baby announcement picture where it's got the Simba from Lion King, but it's Red 13 versus actually Simba. Yeah, my girlfriend actually painted me a small canvas of that because she does work. So I've got that up there too. I've got a vinyl record. They got these records out now. I don't know if you've seen them. The vinyl record clock. Where like they cut into the designs. Yeah, and I got one of Cloud and Tifa that my fucking my Mimi bought me. Like I think I told that story on the podcast too. Yeah. So
that's why you don't exist.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's fucking cool, man. I've actually found out what's been working for me is like there's like a lot of really cool pictures that I find that aren't posters. Like I try to support art whenever I can. So like for instance, like 3 of my favorite posters I got off of Etsy. Like some guy made up and they look fucking amazing. I'm hoping he does the entire team. I only did Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith, but they look fucking phenomenal. But like I'm finding pictures that I really fucking like, and then I'll just send that shit to FedEx, man. I didn't know that was a thing. I sent it to FedEx, and I get 11 by 17 card stock. Throw that in a fucking thing. $3, my guy. $3. Not including a frame. I frame all my posters, but not including the frame. $3, dude. That's crazy. So I got my favorite overall that I've been wanting to get for a while, and it's Cloud, and it's the scene where you jump off the train and you go walking, and it's Cloud walking, but it's 2 Clouds. It's Cloud from the original and Cloud from the remake, and they're doing like a fist bump, and then in the blue and white text like the original, it says, "Let's save the world again." And I was like, that's fucking awesome. And somebody made that literally like the day before the remake. Because I remember it went like all over the Reddit pages and people were like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, tomorrow's going to be, or midnight's going to be amazing. Because it was going to release like that day at midnight and everybody was freaking the fuck out. So yeah, and I finally found that picture again. I was like, fuck yeah. So I sent that off to FedEx, and it was actually funny. The chick behind the counter, I walked up and she was all like, oh, the print looks amazing. It looks so good. I just got to the part where like Tifa, like she started telling me about her experience, and I was like, this is cool, man. Like I'm glad that I can run into other people who are experiencing my favorite game for the first time, especially when they're going through the original. Like, to know that. She's like, oh, I haven't played the remake yet. I want to play the original first and then play the remake. I'm like, great. That's awesome. I want you to experience it the same way I did. And she was telling me, like, yeah, you know, it was funny because she was trying to test me. She didn't think, like, I was as big as a fan as I said I was. Because, like, I mean, here I am picking up a fucking cardstock of a poster. Like, come on. Obviously, I'm some sort of fan, right? And so I was like, yeah. I was like, you know, it's the first RPG I ever played. First RPG I ever beat. Like, I really fucking love this game. And I can't tell you how many times I've played the original. And I mean, the remake alone, I'm already like on my 4th or 5th playthrough. And she's like, well, I'm at the part where you're Tifa and you're leading the party with Tifa. And I was like, okay, cool. So you're about to be heading to Mideel. And she's all like, well, okay, tell me what happened before that if you know what's actually going on. And I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, Cloud, he fucking fell into the live stream. Now you're on the search for Cloud. Sid's going to take control of the team for a little bit. You're going to fight Ultima Weapon in Mideel. I was like, how much further do you want me to keep going? Like, I know exactly where you're at. Like, let's be real. Come on. So, and she was just mind blown. She's like, holy shit. She's like, you really are that big of a fan. I was like, you're probably going to see me in here quite a lot. Like, I'm not going to lie. If I keep finding badass pictures that I can't find posters of by the actual artist, I'm going to be sending them because I want my fucking room to just be fucking filled. Like, I got a lot of wall space in here. I'm not even close to touching yet. I mean, one of my favorites is the actual elemental chart, but it's the materia. So it's all the materia from 7, but it's set out like the actual elemental scientific chart. So that way you look up and it has the abbreviation. Oh, yeah. Exactly. And it's so fucking cool. I was picturing Pokemon elements. Gotcha. Yeah, no.
Fire, water.
Yeah, so it's just the materia table just sitting up there. That's like one of my favorites. I'll be down here and I'm like, all right, just from looking at the abbreviation. Yep, I know which one that one is. And it's all color coordinated and shit too, from like magic to summon to independent support command. It's fucking cool shit, dude. They come out with some cool shit.
If I ever make it back to my apartment, I'm going to have to show off my wall situation because it's legitimately coated everywhere with posters that I accumulated in my childhood, like Nintendo Power Magazine and like strategy guides that came with posters. So I've got like just a million, roughly like late 90s, early 2000s era things all over the place.
Yeah, I had a lot of that shit back in the day. And it just, like I said, it just didn't make it here, which is fine. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if I had one thing that I could literally surround myself with, it'd be Final Fantasy VII. And I didn't have any of that. It was all like Marvel shit and stuff like that, which is, it is what it is. I mean, I also had some Zelda stuff because I'm a big Zelda fan too. But like I said, I mean, if I had to choose, it'd be 7. Like that fucking new shelf. Go ahead.
A little nook of my apartment is just the Zelda area.
Really?
It's just I've got like
there you go.
half a dozen or
awesome.
8 Zelda posters probably. Yeah, it's great.
I actually still have the Game Informer that they put out where it's like literally the entire history of Zelda. I actually wrote, like, I never turned it in, but I actually wrote, whenever I was little in school, I wrote a book report on the timeline of Zelda and like how all the links actually connected together and shit. Yeah.
You're ahead of the... That's amazing.
I can't wait to fucking do a DFU about that. Like, I think Kelsey will really dig the lore of like Link being the hero of time and how that all switches through each link and shit like that. Like, I think she'll really dig that. But we got to get there. Like, my main thing with Kelsey is like, if I can get her to like something as expansive as Final Fantasy, like, I mean, to literally go and her buy the game on her own, not even buy the game, she pre-ordered that shit. So it's not like she just went and picked it up. She pre-ordered it. I want to say she pre-ordered the deluxe edition, if I'm being honest. She didn't go Soldier First Class, but I'm pretty sure she did the deluxe edition. And so to literally go on her own free will to pre-order and then play the entire game all the way through, like, obviously she fucking enjoys it. Like, she doesn't enjoy it the same way I do, which is fine. I didn't expect that. But just for her to be able to just grab the interest of it and then fall into something, because Kelsey is, I mean, she said it on the camera, I've said it on camera, she's a little game naive, and that's fine. Like, not everybody is into video games here, and that's not the big deal. Some of us are, some of us aren't. That's fine. But just the fact that she wants to learn these things is kind of fucking cool, in my opinion. That's why I like the DFU. I think it's a really fucking good show. And it gives her a chance to kind of learn and go down these avenues, and I think Zelda is going to be a really fun one for her. I think she's going to enjoy that.
And, you know, nice to have a balance of the two of us who are just so up our own asses about knowing everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like Kelsey can then stand and be like, what are you guys talking about for the benefit of other people who maybe didn't play every fucking game?
Yep. Oh, it'd be even worse if it was me, you, and Brandon on a podcast, dude. Oh my god, that guy's just like us, dude. He can go down the fucking rabbit hole, man. That guy probably... I want to say he's deeper into Marvel, but I mean, he's pretty fucking deep into fucking DC too. His brother is hardcore DC Transformers. Like, that's his shit. Like how I told you, Brandon has like all the Halo tattoos. He's got like a Decepticon symbol on his shoulder. He's got a bat symbol on somewhere else. Like, they're all about that shit, man. So they go on and on and on. The four of us could successfully run a comic book shop. That's for sure. Successfully.
Yeah.
And be able to carry it for a while. Definitely. Oh, man. But yeah, dude, I've always been really big into comics due to my dad. And he used to take us to the comic book store all the time, and he wouldn't buy us a comic unless, like, he'd give us, like, a test comic every once in a while and be like, all right, point out all the flaws you can see in this comic. And if we could point out flaws in a comic, we could buy us one. So it's like, did it have a bend, or was the spine a little wearing, or was one of the staples loose?
Okay, that's not a flaw.
Did some kid come in with sticky fingers and touch it, and then now all of a sudden the paint is kind of fucked up on the front, you know? Like, that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, he used to do that shit to me all the time.
Not tell me why this art is bad.
Yeah,
why can't you draw feet?
Like, why does Batman suck? Yeah, it was never like that, dude. But yeah, man, fucking comics have always been a big love of mine. Actually, back in the day, I started up a Facebook page, because that's back when fucking people were doing that shit. And I had this little comic book store that I called XLCR, which is short for Excelsior, which is Stanley's favorite fucking thing to say. Yeah, because in all of our clan tags, whenever we were fucking playing games like Call of Duty and stuff, and you can have a 4-digit clan tag, like that's what it was, XLCR. We would all make our favorite comic book heroes, our emblems and shit like that. We got big into that, dude, especially like Call of Duty, Black Ops 2, where you could really like modify everything about your thing, like literally create shapes and all that shit. Like, dude, we got deep into that. Yeah, it was like, to be in the clan, you had to have a hero either from Marvel or DC who wasn't already taken by somebody, and you had to be able to make your clan tag by yourself to join the clan. Like, it was so fucking cool. And like, we had like, man, dude, Black Ops 2, I want to say we had like 40 to 60 members. I know whenever we got to Destiny, we had like 80 to 100 for a while there. We had a lot of fucking people in our clan. That one you couldn't do.
Marvel shit. 100 people.
Yeah, it was nuts, dude.
Everyone needs to pick one hero. It's just hero, like dude. 70 people down. Got someone who has to be beat.
It's just crazy to think of like how many different characters there are, man. I used to tell people all the time, because I got like tons of friends who would come to me and be like, what's the best way to get comics? I'm like, you just really got to like really take, in my opinion, going online and like researching heroes. I mean, anybody can easily be like, oh, I want to be a Batman fan, or oh, I want to be a Spider-Man fan. But if you could find somebody that's not as popular, I think there's like a hero out there for everybody, or even a villain or a fucking anti-hero, whatever. I think there's someone in comics that someone could read it and just be like, fucking A, I really can like relate to this character. I think there's someone out there for everyone, because I mean, Stan Lee did a great job of being like, cool, we got the hero that shows up in the mask and saves the day and then goes on with the rest of his life that we don't know because it's behind closed doors. Stan Lee's like, no, let's show this hero take the mask off, struggle paying rent, you know, having relationship issues. Like, let's make them real fucking people. You know,
Spider-Man's just a dude. That's why he's great.
Exactly. Fantastic Four. Fucking Reed Richards struggling to pay the fucking rent all the time to keep the Baxter building going. Like, it really made you feel for these characters and actually relate to some of these fucking characters. And I just think there's someone like that out there for everybody, man. I'm like, once you find that one person, then dedicate your life to like really going and buying their comics. But before then, like, I don't really think it's productive to be like, I'm going to jump into an Avengers series. I'm going to jump into this. And I see that shit all the time where people come to comics and are like, hey, you know, I really fell in love with this character. I want to start buying this character. Where should I start? That is more productive. It's like, you fucking like a character, jump into that character, run down that character's list. And if something changes, then cool, you can fucking start the hunt over again. But most of the time, you're pretty much dead on that first. I haven't met a person who's like literally took my advice, went found a character, and then disliked it. Like they've been pretty fucking spot on with that shit. I just believe that, man. There's just so many for you to not find one. And you might find somebody that's not popular. I mean, fuck. I remember when Deadpool got his debut in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, that was the highlight of my life. That was the highlight of my life. I was like, right? I was like, this will probably be the only time I ever see Deadpool in it. I mean, I played him non-stop. And now look at him. Now look at him. Fucking had 2 major movies.
Deadpool had, he had a meteoric rise from basically when Ultimate Alliance came out till now.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And I mean, like I said, fucking D-list villain at best when he started. At best. I mean, and he just, and it's such a crazy situation, you know? I mean, he's literally a ripoff of fucking Deathstroke. And no one really thought he was going to fucking go anywhere. And then it was like, when they started throwing all this comedy into him, then it was like, holy shit, who's this fucking Deadpool guy? Like, and then he started getting a little bit of buzz and having his own series and stuff like that. And it just kind of kept climbing and climbing from there.
It's kind of crazy how many Marvel characters in general end up starting like that. Like, Wolverine was just like, Hulk fought him a couple times, and then they brought him into the X-Men. Huge, but like, it was just some... Groot was...
Dude, the entire Guardians of the Galaxy. If it wouldn't have been for that movie, like, I literally said this so many times. I was like, Disney doing the Guardians of the Galaxy is them going, we can literally take anything we want and then make a franchise out of it. That's Disney at that point. That's literally what I said they're doing. And look what fucking happened. I mean, same thing with Deadpool. Before those fucking movies, Deadpool had 1, maybe 3 series going at a time at best. Now he's got like fucking 10. I can't even keep up. I used to be able to go into a comic book store once a week and throw down like fucking $10 and stay up to date. Now I got to throw like fucking $40 down every fucking week just to stay up to date with all the fucking Deadpool. I don't have fucking money for that. I'm trying to buy all this Final Fantasy shit. It's like I got to fucking pick and choose now, man. It's like, fuck. Ugh. Sometimes it's nice when your character isn't that popular because then you can stay on top of shit. So that's my message to everybody watching. Be careful what you wish for. I wanted Deadpool to get popular. It happened and it sucks now. It's very hard for me to keep up with his shit. I can actually go to a comic book store on a Wednesday release. For those of you who don't know, that's when new comics come in on a Wednesday release. And be there early in the morning, and there's a good chance I might not even get the newest Deadpool comic that came out because it might be empty on the fucking shelf. That's insane to me. That is insane to me. I can't. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the original issues where Punisher showed up for 3 issues in his original series. Those things are about $100 a pop now. That's crazy to me.
Wow.
Just to buy them off of eBay. Crazy.
I forgot the one, like, my weird obsession guy that I have is MODOK. I have the first issue that MODOK. Yeah. Fucking it started as kind of a joke. I wanted to have the largest collection of MODOK paraphernalia just in the world, which they don't make a ton of it. They didn't used to make very many MODOK products.
No, they didn't. That is such a weird one.
10 different MODOK things, which I like to think is the most anyone has, because why would anyone have more?
That's pretty fucking fair.
It seems attainable.
That's pretty fucking fair.
I love it. It's great. Strangest thing.
You would have really enjoyed one of our biggest fucking videos that fucking got a shit ton of views that a lot of people liked, and if anybody hasn't got a chance to go check it out yet, you need to. It was our first review show, actually. Pretty sure it was the very first review show. It was what is wrong with the DCEU. And so we started talking about like what we thought about the movies and stuff. We got on this tantrum about like favorite characters. And so Dylan, who used to be a member of the channel, now a big fan of the channel, which is awesome. He still sticks around, jumps into comments every once in a while. Still a great friend of mine. But he is an Iron Fist fan. And whenever that Netflix show came out, he was let down big time, right? Well, I mean, he says he wasn't, but it's like, come on, dude. Everybody thought that show was fucking terrible. Like, let's just be real. It was pretty fucking bad. And we were talking...
Especially pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Like Daredevil was fucking amazing. Punisher was fucking phenomenal.
Good. Like, yeah, and they just like Iron Fist.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah. So we were sitting there doing the Is the DCU in Trouble, and it was me, Dylan, my buddy Joey, and my buddy Tony from Dark Star. So it was like one of our first Dark Star Dead Funny collabs, which was really, really fun to do. And so my buddy Tony, he's a huge Green Lantern fan. That's his guy, Hal Jordan. Loves Hal Jordan Green Lantern, which that's a Green Lantern to go for.
Original Green Lantern.
Yeah, dude's a baller. And my buddy Joey, huge Batman guy. Loves Batman. His favorite Marvel character is Carnage, which I love Carnage as well. Either one of those. Great fucking choices. And then we get to Dylan, who it was... I'll give him props for his DC character, because as much as he's a sidekick, who doesn't love Robin? You know? I mean, Robin started
which Robin?
Trend. It was... actually, I think it was Wayne. I think it was his son. I think it was Batman's son, Robin.
Like, Damian?
Yeah, Damian Wayne
Robin?
Damian
okay.
Wayne. I think it was Damian Wayne Robin, not like Dick Grayson or anybody.
I don't know that one very well.
Yeah.
That's the one they put in, like, in... That's all I know.
Mm-hmm. And then I had, because like I do the characters behind this and stuff, and I had Green Arrow. And so we were doing that, and we got on this whole, like, situation as far as talking about people picking their favorite characters and like what characters would be really bad fucking movies and stuff like that. And I can't remember who it was, but someone brought up the fact that like Beast is known as, I want to say it was Dylan, is known as like one of the top X-Men. And my buddy Tony was like, no fucking way. He's like, there's no fucking way people are a fan of Beast. He's like, he's the most useless fucking X-Men there is. And then he's like, Dylan was like, yeah, but he's a brawler, dude. He's like, there are better brawlers. Be a fan of Hulk. There's no way there's people out there with Beast tattoos. And I was like, I guarantee you there are people out there with like Beast tattoos, Beast posters. He's all like, I am sorry, but we as a society have let you down. Like, it's this whole tirade of like 5 minutes of him just going off. So then he starts looking up like actual lists while we're doing this show of like top X-Men, top this. And he's all like, he's number 4. These troll motherfuckers, dude. Yeah. He's literally going off and losing his fucking mind. And so he cracks a joke at Dylan because Dylan brought it up. So he's like, I can't imagine being on Netflix and just scrolling through like, what's on Netflix today? Oh, fucking Lost. Oh, fucking The Office. Iron Fist. Woo! I lost it, dude. And then Dylan being Dylan, he just automatically attacks the fucking next person that fucking talks. So then Joey goes to start saying, Joey literally says something to help Dylan out. I was like, I didn't think Iron Fist was all that bad. And then Dylan just immediately goes to, shut the fuck up, Joey. Your favorite character wouldn't even exist if Venom didn't shit him out. And I was like, no fucking way, dude. It just went off the rails hardcore. It was so fucking funny. Oh, they were cracking me the fuck up, dude. It was just like, whenever Tony's like, we as a society have let you down if Beast is your favorite character. I was like, oh my god.
No, Beast is great. He's the best of the He's easily my favorite of the first group of X-Men.
Oh my god.
Also, aside from Hugh Jackman, Kelsey Grammer as Beast was the best casting job they did in those X-Men movies.
That's fair.
That was fair. Funniest thing possible.
Dude, so. I can't see another Wolverine, man. There are just some of those characters that I think Marvel got absolutely right, and Hugh Jackman is one of those, dude. Like and some of the characters, like I didn't care for at first, but they're coming around on me. Like I was really worried about Chris Evans being Captain America after seeing him as Human Torch. I was really worried about that, but he did a great fucking job as Captain America.
Yeah,
fucking Chris Hemsworth, amazing Thor. Tom Hiddleston, amazing Loki, like easily. The number one for me, fucking Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. I mean, you couldn't have done better than that. They literally lived the exact same life. Addicted to drugs, addicted to booze, go to rehab. Like they did the exact same shit. You can't get somebody better than Robert Downey Jr. to play Iron Man. They just don't exist. They physically don't fucking exist.
If he hadn't worked as well as he did, we wouldn't have all these movies. Like they based the whole thing
off of Iron Man 1. 100%, dude.
Yeah.
And they started that shit up in the Last Hulk movie. Because he was at the end of the Last Hulk movie.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
I can't believe that Hulk movie first.
That Hulk movie was terrible. All of them are. The Hulk movies are bad. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who likes the Incredible Hulk, and he kept saying, "Too bad, I can't wait till we get another Hulk." I was like, "Dude, it's not gonna happen." Like, Universal is trying to hold those rights for as long as they fucking can. They're not gonna put out another movie.
Yeah.
Marvel can't do it until they get the fucking rights, and even if they do it, Hulk just doesn't sell, dude. It's been tried so many times. I think that if they did another one, people would be too scared to go due to the fact that they're like, it's probably gonna fucking suck, dude.
Yeah. And so they basically, like, the best, coolest Hulk movie they could have done, like Planet Hulk, they roped into the Thor movie.
They roped into Ragnarok.
Like, guys, you want Mike and whatever Korg?
Yeah.
They are.
Right? I was so upset about that. I was like, dude, Planet Hulk is actually a really good fucking series. Like, there's the big fat yellow guy that's hooked up to all the fucking TVs. I can't remember his fucking name. The villain in Planet Hulk?
Mojo? Is Mojo?
Mojo. Yeah, Mojo, right? Wasn't he part of that?
Yeah, I got.
He might have been. I just might be mixing it up. I think Mojo's part of fucking.
Mojo's the fat yellow guy at the TVs.
Yeah. Oh, he was X-Men. I'm thinking of someone else then. I'm thinking of somebody else then. Someone in World War the Hulk who I could have sworn it was fucking Mojo that ran the fucking Coliseum.
Crossed over all the time. It's not.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But either way, doesn't matter. And Planet Hulk was amazing. Planet Hulk was
technically the villain of Planet Hulk is all the superheroes on Earth, right? It's actually
true.
The Xavier and Reed Richards who put a bomb in his ship. They're the actual.
Yeah, they were just like, "Fuck you guys, see ya."
Yeah, bye Hulk. Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah, but so we're like, you're never doing a Hulk movie, of course not.
Right, exactly. And it just, dude, I fucking takes me back to like so many different fucking Deadpool comics, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. I was thinking about because you brought up Professor Xavier, fucking and Wolverine. I was thinking about the whole Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. How well that was fucking done. I mean, fuck, dude. It was one of those comics where it's like I kept reading because I'm a Deadpool fan, but it's like every page I was like, fucking A, dude. Deadpool is like, he's being a real dick, dude. Like, holy shit. Like, he was killing the X-Men and had Professor Xavier just like tied up and eyelids open watching all the X-Men die on screen. I was like, God damn, dude. Holy shit. Deadpool went through some shit, man. He went through some shit, dude. Oh, man. Or like whenever he had Dakin and fucking X-23 hooked up to those machines, and like every time their healing factor started back up, these flamethrowers kicked on that burned them right back down to the bone. I was like, fucking A, dude. Oh, my God. It's fucking rough, man. That's rough. I was actually watching, because I haven't watched Deadpool movies in a minute now, but the fucking scenes popped up randomly like on my YouTube. And I was watching the scene where he was fighting the Juggernaut in the second one, and he jumps on top of his head.
Yeah,
he does the whole sun's getting real low there, big guy. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, shit. Fucking. That character cracks me the fuck up. Ryan Reynolds, there you go. That's another motherfucker, dude. He was born for that fucking role. As much as that movie was fucking terrible, that Wolverine Origins, he did such a good job at Deadpool until they decided to destroy Deadpool.
I mean, it was like they took nothing else from that movie except Ryan Reynolds, and it was the right move.
Yeah, it was goddamn, dude. It was so good. Whenever they were in the elevator and it just shuts down and it's got the green light and he's just like. The shade of green matches your eyes, sir. And then Wolverine's like, do you ever shut up? No, not while I'm awake. He did such a fucking good job, dude.
Why was Will I Am in that movie? God, that was such a that was just all around such a bad thing they made.
It was a bad movie, dude. Sabretooth's claws were disgusting.
Yeah. The one time they got Gambit in a thing, right? And just that? Come on.
I didn't think Gambit was that bad. Although, it's just they need to get some marketability around Gambit, man. They need to get some market around him, dude. Because they were going to do... You heard about the new one that they were going to do.
Their Channing Tatum was going to be Gambit, and it just got like
canceled, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, Disney canceled every
That's
Fox,
true.
Marvel.
That's true.
Except
for New Mutants. Except for New Mutants. That was the only one they didn't cancel, which I thought was interesting. I mean, I want to see it. Marvel's first horror movie? Like, bro.
Right.
Yes.
Like, technically, it's been finished in some sense for like 3 years or something.
Yeah, but then they're like, oh, we're going to release it. And then it was like COVID-19. And then it was like, all right, we're not going to release this.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I don't know what ever happened, actually.
I would love to see that one, dude. I would really love them. I mean, they had some big hitters in there. I mean, Macy Lee Williams was in there. Fucking the dude from Stranger Things that's like addicted to cocaine now or some shit like that. I don't fucking remember his name.
Oh.
Yeah, the fucking big.
I don't remember what other characters they had. She was gonna be Wolfsbane, right? Yeah. And then I think they had Colossus's sister, Magic.
Oh, fucking. It's not Kitty Pryde.
Alana.
What's her fucking name? What was her hero name though?
It's Alana. I think it's Magic. It's just Magic, right?
Oh yeah, it is just Magic, right? I don't know who the fuck. Who the fuck's Kitty Pryde?
Yeah, you're thinking of Shadowcat.
But yeah, her name was Ileana.
Oh, hey. Yeah, since we just get to say Shadowcat, I got a trivia bit for Shadowcat.
Uh-oh.
She is one of my favorites because she is from the town I grew up in. She is from Deerfield, Illinois. Canonically in the comics, because she was a Jewish teenager, and that's where all Jewish teenagers live, is Deerfield, Illinois.
There you go.
That's not completely false. My high school was like 50% Jewish, so it made a lot of sense.
Wow.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
How would you?
It's fair enough.
You would think it would take place if you didn't live there, right? It's why it's crazy. I don't know, it's just like a thing. Yeah.
My dad, he had told one of my girlfriends one time, we were sitting there talking, and she was asking, why he got so big into comics. And he's all like, honestly, you can ask that question to anybody who's in comics, and they could probably give you a million reasons, but you'll never actually truly grasp it without reading a comic yourself. Yeah. He's like, I got comics that can make you laugh your ass off. Pick any fucking Deadpool issue. He's like, I got comics that can get you dead into the fucking fight where you're like on the edge of your seat wanting to read the next one. Avengers, X-Men, doesn't matter. He goes, you want comics that'll make you fucking bawl your eyes out? Death of Ileana, Death of Aunt May, easily could rip your heartstrings out. Like, it's just like, it just hit me. I was like, he's so fucking right about that. Like, that's so fucking true. Like, I've told plenty of people why I'm in the comics, and I don't think it's ever fucking made a mark on anybody. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you gotta witness it yourself. You really do. Like, you gotta take that plunge yourself and be like, what is this all about? Let me actually read this. I mean, because like I said, it's one thing to sit here and be like, I'm such a big Deadpool fan, but I've had comics that have literally hit me in multiple different ways that aren't even Deadpool related. Like fucking Death of the Family is still probably one of my favorite Batman series of all time. Like, easily. Or fucking Batman that oh god damn it. Is it year one? I think it's year one. The issue where he he comes out of a coma, he's fed up with fucking everything. Gotham's a fucking wreck, and he gets the Scarecrow. And I'll never forget this fucking comic book issue. Because he fights the Scarecrow, and the Scarecrow just starts laughing. He's all like, no matter what, you're going to lock me up, I'm going to break out. You're going to lock me up, I'm going to break out, right? And he goes, this time I'm going to leave you with something that you'll remember so you don't do your evil doings again. And he breaks every bone in Scarecrow's body and then just holds him in an awkward position and leaves him like that so that way his bones start to grow back right, and then waits like a couple hours before he even calls the cops to come get him. Like, holy, like, push Batman beyond the fucking point of like where Batman is. And it's actually funny that comic book men show I was talking about. They're talking about like, how would you feel if Batman ever took the step to kill somebody? And they're all like, well, it just wouldn't be Batman because Batman doesn't kill. Like, that's his one golden rule. And one of the guy that I said Randall's based off of, he's all like, they do that to him all the time though. It's like, he's got to be extremely mad at these prisons. Like, why do you keep letting all these motherfuckers out? Do I just have to start killing them to get them off the fucking street? Yeah. And I was like, I mean, that's pretty fucking fair. Like, all these villains get the fuck back out. Do I just need to start killing them and then they'll fucking be gone? Is that the only way to get rid of the Joker once and for fucking all? I was like, yeah, you're pretty right about that. Which, like, to this day, I don't know if you ever played it. Arkham Asylum or the Arkham series.
Oh. Yeah,
one of the best Batman stories ever told. by far, hands down.
The twist in Arkham City at the end. I don't know if I should spoil this.
That 10-year-old game or not. Forever. Yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, okay. Or where it's Clayface. Yeah, just the Joker. Right? I was like, oh shit.
Right?
They put Clayface in this and made him incredibly central to the plot in a way. It's like they use every character they had and involved them in like a meaningful way to craft this like. It's so cool. Oh.
And like you just never thought about that coming from the first one. Like the first one didn't even seem. I thought the first one was just gonna be like a one and done thing, and then they did City and then Arkham Knight. Like, oh man, and like just when you get to that third one and the relationship between Batman and the Joker was just so deep that now that he's dead, like the Batman just visions him all the time in his head. There's so many times where you're just like literally just sitting up there on a fucking rooftop and the Joker's just sitting there next to you fucking talking to you and mocking you and shit like that. I'm like, dude, this fucking game right now, dude. Holy shit. Oh, man. It's nuts. I'll never forget showing one of my girlfriends. Go ahead.
No, you go on.
I was just going to say, I'll never forget showing one of my girlfriends The Killing Joke, the movie.
Oh, and yeah. Oh, sure, yeah.
It got to the scene where the Joker shot Barbara Gordon in the spine and paralyzed her, and then fucking sends Commissioner Gordon down that tunnel of love where he's got nothing but those big TV screens showing all the naked pictures he took of Barbara Gordon while she's just laying out bleeding and shit, and Commissioner Gordon's eyes are just like duct taped open and shit, and my girlfriend was like, holy fuck, like this is in a Batman comic? And I'm like, a lot of you people that don't read the comics don't understand how dark this shit gets. Another one that falls really under that radar is the fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Their comics are pretty fucking dark. Like, everybody sees the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like, oh, these fucking movies and these TV shows. Those comics are dark as shit, dude. Like, that shit blows my mind that no one understands the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like the comics, dude. That's fucking crazy to me.
Oh, I barely even know that.
Yeah, dude, they're dark, man. They are fucking dark. I know there was this one where like 3 of the brothers, I want to say it was Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Raphael, got like murdered, like brutally. And then fucking Donatello like went and grabbed like their weapons, learned how to use all their weapons, and then like had their fucking mask like ripped up and tied around like all their fucking weapons, and like went and got vengeance and fucking murdered like everybody that took part in fucking killing his brothers. Like, the fucking comics are fucking dark, dude. Like, it's not the same. It's not your father's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that are on the TV. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
It's different, man. It's fucking different. But yeah, like, that Batman movie, it just blew her mind. She was like, I can't believe, like, she's like, this was actually a comic. I was like, yes. Like, you would be amazed to hear about just the shit Joker did in Death of the fucking Family. I mean, this dude literally ran around with his face cut off and stapled to his fucking head and a fucking belt keeping it on his forehead, rotting for fucking issues upon issues upon issues. Like, the dude's fucking insane. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Dude's fucking crazy. I was like, people that don't read the comics, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, there's a reason why these comic book fans get mad when the characters aren't portrayed correctly in these movies. There's a reason why. We've been building these stories for fucking decades. Like, you're new to the scene, all right? Oh, man. Like, I'm not the kind of person to get mad at people who are the bandwagoners, as they're known now, where it's like, oh, I watched an Iron Man movie. Now I'm an Iron Man fan. Now I want to go read Iron Man comics. That's great to me. That's a new way for people to get into something to help the comics stay alive. That's great to me.
I love that people know who Thanos is now.
Right?
Just normal people are aware of Thanos.
Right? Exactly, dude.
It's like weird character I knew. Like,
right? Whenever I left the theater after watching Infinity War or whatever, or not, it wasn't Infinity War. What was that? That was Guardians of the Galaxy 1, right? When we first saw Thanos? Yeah. Right?
Or Avengers. Technically, they showed him like a glimpse at the end of Avengers, I think.
Maybe it was Avengers. Yeah, it was Avengers. So whatever one we saw him first at that end credit scene, we left and instantly, or not even when we left, as soon as the credits hit, everybody was like, so who is the purple guy in the chair? Like, instantly. And then it was funny. It was funny because I got home and I was like, I just wonder. So I literally typed in PUR. And the first thing that came up in Google was, who was the purple guy in the chair at the end of Avengers? I was like, no fucking way, dude. So many people, man. It's crazy. Oh, my God. It's fucking nutty. Oh, and it's crazy to think that all started with Iron Man, man. Jesus Christ, dude.
Right. They had to use, like, what would have been, like, a B-list kind of guy at the time.
Yeah. Iron Man did not have that big of a fan base. Yeah.
Wolverine or whatever, so here's Iron Man.
Iron Man did not have that big of a fan base back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a big deal, but, like, not on that level. Yeah.
Yep. I'll still never forget one of the times Iron Man fucking like let me down big time because I like Iron Man's my favorite Avenger. He would be my favorite hero technically because Deadpool's not a hero. He's an anti-hero. Deadpool's my favorite character overall. No one's above Deadpool in Marvel. But if we're like breaking down like heroes, the villains, the anti-hero, that would be Iron Man, Deadpool, Ultron. But with Iron Man, where he let me down the biggest was Civil War, dude. The comics in Civil War are so good. Like, I don't think the movie's as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. I do think that there's a lot of shit that was missed.
No, I mean, I thought I was impressed with how well they handled having to deal with like 20 characters.
Exactly, 100%. Like whenever we had that to compare to fucking Batman versus Superman and that fucking travesty, I was completely fine. I thought it was, hey, I'll fucking take this. Is what Batman versus Superman wanted to be, in my opinion, 100%.
Yeah, and whatever the problem with Superman is, they didn't get to build that up at all. Mm-hmm. At least we had like a whole movie.
Yeah, DC was just like, oh, they're taking all this time to do like all these solo stories and then do one big group story together. We're just gonna do a group story and see how that fucking works out, and then maybe do solo stories afterwards. Yeah. Like, I was like, okay, DC needs to get their shit together. Anyways, but that's a whole nother fucking podcast. But with me, it was like the Civil War in the comics was fucking amazing. And there's no way, like, there's a lot. This is one where I will agree with people. There's no way the movies could have lived up to the comic book hype of the Civil War. It's impossible because in the comics, everybody was affected. Everybody. That's way too many people. You cannot cast that many people in a fucking movie. Like, it had to be a fucking 4-day long movie. Easily.
You can't make up for the, like, 50 years of history that the characters in the comics have, where in the movies, haven't met each other yet.
But one of my favorite situations in that is the comic where Spider-Man chooses to leave Iron Man's side and go to Cap's. That's the one that got me. Was whenever he finds out that they're literally hunting down heroes, and instead of giving them the chance to register like they were, they're just locking them up with villains in the same fucking cells and shit with villains that they put away. And Spider-Man's like, these people were like family to us. How could you be doing this? And Iron Man's like, look, we set the rule. They didn't follow it. And then Spider-Man's like, I'm not okay with this. I'm leaving. He's like, I'm going to go join Cap. And Iron Man tells him, he's like, you walk out that door, I'm going to have to take you down. And then you're going to be sitting in a cell with everyone else. And Spider-Man's like, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. And he walks out the door. And then him and Iron Man start going at it. And then midway through the fight, Iron Man presses a button on his armor, and it shuts down the spider armor. And Spider-Man just falls down to the ground and can't move. And Iron Man comes down, and as he's going to come down, all of a sudden Spider-Man fucking just gets up and then is able to get out of the suit of armor. And Iron Man's just like, what the fuck? And I literally, best Spider-Man line of all time is like, before I was Spider-Man, I was Peter Parker, a fucking genius. You think you can hand me a suit without me finding out the schematics about it? And whips his fucking ass in the original Amazing Spider-Man outfit. Yeah. And then just walks away and is like, if you're looking for me, I'll be with Cap. I was like, let's go, dude. Like, because that was big, man. Like, Peter Parker's a huge Tony Stark fan. They're both huge into fucking science and shit and very fucking smart. Like, that was a huge moment in comics, man. That was one of the times where I was all like, man, I feel like a dick being an Iron Man fan for once. Like, he's on the wrong side of the table on this. Yeah. I was like, he's on the wrong side, man.
I mean, that Civil War stuff, I think, cemented Captain America as, like, my second favorite or whatever, because he's more about the idea. He's not, like, blindly committed to America, the thing. He's committed to America, this ideal he has, and like when exactly. Captain America's great, and he's right, and those comics are great. Yeah.
Yeah, they were fucking great. I mean, I love Cap stance too. I love Cap stance too. Yeah. I mean, I definitely love the fact of where Iron Man and him are talking, and Iron Man's like, I don't understand why you're not for registration. Everybody knows who you are. You've been deputized. This literally affects you the least. And he's like, but that's the point. I'm not fighting for me. I'm fighting for them. The ones who keep their family safe by keeping their identities a secret. Like, I mean, and I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, I mean, Iron Man's kind of right, but at the same time, Captain America's right. And for those of you who really want to see some great Civil War stuff, look up, you can find it on YouTube as like a movie. I'm 100% sure. Look up the cinematic scenes from Ultimate Alliance 2. That'll give you a good brief story about the fucking Civil War. In that goddamn game, whenever Iron Man and fucking Captain America start going at it, and they start like talking shit to each other whenever fucking Iron Man is sitting there, and they fall down with like this tube or something, and he says something to Captain America, and I can't remember what it was, and Captain America goes, "What is it, Tony? Let me guess. A nice new promotion at S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury's missing, so you're just going to take over?" "Oh, yeah, no, that's right. They wouldn't let a drunk like you in the White House." And then you just see Iron Man's fucking face mask come down, and the eyes go red, and he goes, "You're going to regret staying that, Steve." I was like, oh my God, dude. This shit is getting live right now. Oh, such a great story. Told so well in that game. So well. I would say read the comics, but there's a shit ton of them. Like, it doesn't just... I cannot stress it enough when I say everybody was affected. Like, even Deadpool. Deadpool was rejected by Captain America and Iron Man. Neither one of them wanted him on their side, and they threatened him that if he went to the other side that they would take him down. So, Deadpool was affected. Moon Knight fucking went down to the Mexico with the Punisher just to get the fuck away from Captain America and all of them. And they did their own like vigilante shit down in Mexico for a while. Fucking Taskmaster, for instance, was like trying to retrain all the fucking villains that they were bringing in and making them into fucking heroes and shit like that. Like, everybody was affected. There were fucking people in the X-Men who were for the registration. Most of them went into hiding. Fucking Colossus went back to Russia, for Christ's sakes. Like, it affected everybody.
Also, the Colossus had just come back to life.
Yeah.
Like a year before.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Too. Yep.
Or whatever.
That too.
That was weird.
It is such a fucking great comic book series, man. That is top, like, top fucking... That one and another one that I like that I would have been really cool if they fucking make now that Disney owns both, is Avengers versus the X-Men. That was a really good fucking story told too, where they wanted to kill Hope Summers. The Avengers wanted to kill Hope Summers due to the fact that the Dark Phoenix energy had been spotted by Tony Stark's satellites coming back to Earth. And they knew that it was going for Hope Summers. And they're like, we need to get rid of her now. And I'll never forget the comic book that literally grabbed my attention was The Return of Cable. And it literally just shows him like from the waist down, and he's holding a gun. And then next to him are fucking Cap, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and then someone else is bodies with a bullet hole in each one of their heads. And it was like Cable literally put a hit out like, anybody touches my sister, I will take you out myself. Like, and Cable's a bad dude. Like, people who don't know Cable just based off Deadpool movie, Cable's a bad fucking dude. One of the times he impressed me the most is he's having a conversation with somebody telepathically. And then, like, they're showing him, like, standing out in the snow. And he's not wearing snow wet, like, clothes either. So he's definitely freezing his ass off, right? And then they zoom out the panel, and he's got this fucking 4-story wooden cottage. And it's all in pieces. He literally took the whole thing apart, and it's just all the pieces are floating in the air. And he's just putting it together and then breaking it up. Putting it together and breaking it up. Just to flex that and strengthen it. And then, at the same time, for people who don't know Cable, his mental mind state is constantly keeping this metal sickness at bay. His metal arm isn't just a metal arm. Like in the comics, it's a sickness. It's called the T virus, right? The legacy, legacy virus. Yeah, exactly. And it's basically like AIDS for fucking super mutants. That's kind of what it was made back then in those days, There's during the AIDS pandemic, they kind of did this whole legacy fucking T virus, whatever it's called. And that's basically what it is for like almost. Yeah. Because it affects everybody differently. Because I remember they had like a Deadpool Cable run where they were together, and then fucking somehow Deadpool contracted it from Cable, and like he was just melting into a puddle, and then the entire metal stuff was taking Cable's entire body over. I'll never forget that comic because like the fucking first thing to go is Deadpool's fucking left hand, and he goes, "Oh no, my Cinemax hand," and I was like, "Jesus Christ, Deadpool." But yeah, it fucking blows my mind. It blows my mind that he's that strong. Like him in the movie doesn't even cover what Cable can do in the comics. So whenever he came back to fucking fight off the Avengers, I was like, man, dude, they're gonna have their fucking hands full with this one. Like holy shit. Because Scott Summers was wanting to get Hope to get the Dark Phoenix because he's like, she can handle it. And they're all like, yeah, because your wife did such a fucking great job of that. She only killed like hundreds of fucking people and fucking mutants alike before she died and before Wolverine had to kill her to fucking stop her. Like, come on, dude. Holy fuck. Like, we really don't want to go through this again. Because I think that's who it was. I think that's who the fourth body was. I think Wolverine was on the Avengers side. Because he didn't want the same thing to happen to Hope that happened to fucking Jean Grey. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking fucking Sue Summers, and that's fucking not, that's Invisible Woman, Sue fucking Richards. Anyways. Whew. Yeah, we can keep going about this all fucking night, but we should definitely wrap up. Anyways. Yeah. This was fun though, man. We definitely need to have like more like fucking comic book conversations, dude. This shit's fucking fun. Yeah. I know the guys at Dark Star, we've definitely talked about doing some collab shit whenever it comes to comics and stuff, dude. I'll definitely have to make sure you're the fucking the second Dead Funny supporter on that one. It'd be me, you, and the Nils. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, and they're big in the comics. They love their shit too, so we'll have some great times, dude. Oh yeah, especially after the fucking movies start coming out again, whenever that will fucking happen in like 2025. Yeah, then we'll be able to start doing those too. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button so that way you can get notified next time we upload another video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know what your thoughts are on any of the stuff. If you want to know a little bit more about some of these different comic book series and stuff, I'll help out where I can. Once again, a lot of this is you can look up like a lot of synopsis and stuff like on these too. But I do hardcore say go out and purchase comics if you can to help support the community. So that way it continues to keep being what it is. I mean, it's fucking impacted a lot of people over generations, obviously. So, and the movies are just the fucking the start, in my opinion. A lot of people say it's been the tip of the iceberg, but I don't think Marvel's going anywhere any fucking time soon. If Disney's lucky and plays their cards right, that's the next Mickey Mouse. So I don't think we're gonna lose Marvel anytime soon. But anyways, also we have Twitters and Twitches down below if you want to check those out. But at the end of all this, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.